Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today we're going to be taking a look at a rotating 360-degree vertical foregrip from Medieval Industries. Let's roll the intro. Now, I want to first start off by saying that I'm glad that I didn't just jump into a quick review on this device. I've had it on the rifle now for about 5 or 6 months, and I've been able to get some time behind it, use it in different product reviews, use it to test ammunition and so forth. It's been on several different trips out to the desert with me, and I'm glad because my initial impression and my first thoughts on this device are definitely different than they are after I had some time with it. Now, before we talk about my experience with it and I give you guys my final opinion, let's first go over what exactly this thing does and what it's for. So this is a fully rotating 360-degree foregrip. I wouldn't necessarily call it a vertical foregrip because vertical is only one of the positions that this thing is capable of. So basically you have a foregrip here. When you turn the bottom of this foregrip clockwise, it allows you to adjust it in an infinite number of positions underneath your Picatinny, M-Lok, or your Keymod rail system. Once you find the exact position that you want this thing to be in, all you do is you turn it counterclockwise to lock it into that position. So if you're somebody who is a lefty, you want a little bit of an angle on it, you can do that. If you're a righty and you want a little bit of an angle on it, you can do that. If you want to use it completely vertical, you can do that. Give it a little bit of a clockwise twist, and then counterclockwise twist, and you can have an angled foregrip. So like I said, there's kind of an infinite number of possibilities for somebody who likes a foregrip of some kind. Again, you can use it as a vertical foregrip. It's just about 4 inches long. Type 3 hard anodized coating, and it works off of a ball joint. So that ball joint just allows this thing to kind of rotate, spin around, and then stop where you want it. One of the nice things that I like about this is that if you're not in the mood for using it, if you don't need it, whatever the case is, all you have to do is rotate it and you can turn it up in the outward position like this and kind of get it out of the way. Leave a lot of this handguard for your own personal use and room, or if you want to, you can just simply spin this thing around, bring it backwards, tighten it down, and now you have it in the rearward position where you can still get a good grab onto it, but it's sort of out of the way still. So depending on what you want, you can really do a lot with this thing, and you know, it's basically got every conceivable position underneath there, which is nice because it allows you to either use it like a standard vertical foregrip like this, or one way that I found is if you're working off a barricade or you're using a rest or something like that and you still want a little bit of an extra pull against your arm or just some extra control against some of the recoil or poppiness or whatever you're getting, you can actually take this thing right here, again, turn it just a little bit, bring it over to the side, whatever side, you know, works for you depending if you're right or left-handed, and you could honestly just grab onto this thing and drive it like a motorcycle. So you got your, you got your grip right here. You have a fully, good grip right there on it, and you could just bring that thing right back into your arm and just drive it home. So you have absolutely no movement whatsoever, and it allows you to, work off of different stops, different rests, different barricades. And so for somebody that really wants to, I think, more or less get the best possible control, I think you're going to get it out of this. Again, it is 6061 T6 aluminum. It is just about 4 inches long. It's 3 3/4 inches long, I believe, and it is just over 5 ounces. So it is sort of lightweight for its size. It is a little bit big and a little bit long, but it's not really bulky. And I do like the fact that they have different sections here that will allow you to attach it to either M-Lok, Picatinny, or Keymod. All right, now let's talk about my personal experience and opinion on the Medieval Industries RFG. Now, like I said before in the very beginning, I'm glad that I waited to do the review on this. That's because my initial impressions weren't that great. I'm not a big vertical foregrip guy or a big foregrip guy in general. I think about maybe 85% of my rifles just have handguards and nothing else on them. So I am a little bit skewed to begin with. There has to be something there that makes me change my mind in order for me to like it. Either something that's minimalist twist or it's got something different to it. It's not just your standard thing that's going to make me like it. And when I started using this thing, at first I was like, wow, it's kind of big. You know, it's about 4 inches long. But one thing I did like about that, if I'm being honest, is that I could get my entire hand around it and get a good grip. It's not like one of those little minimalist ones where you get like a little 1 or 2 finger grip on it and, you know, you kind of have a little bit of a pull or something that's very similar to a hand stop. This is a full-on hardcore grip. This is something that you reach out, you get a good grip on, and you are ready, set, go. I mean, it is a good enough size where anybody with any size hand is going to be able to grab it. You're going to be able to get the best possible control. And after shooting with it time and time again, I got to say, I really enjoyed that control. I enjoyed that I could stay on target every single time, and my shots and my follow-up shots definitely improved because of this. So I had my first shot was on target, my second, third, fourth, fifth shots were all on target without having to reacquire it because of recoil. This is a 300 blackout. It's a little bit more snappy than 223, 556, and that's what it's been attached to this whole time. So shooting 300 blackout supersonic 120 grain rounds can be a little bit poppy, and this really helped me control it. It helped me stay on those little 4-inch steel targets at distance. So that I did like. Even though I initially didn't like the size of it, the size of it kind of grew on me because, again, you get that great control. Now, one downside that I did kind of find is that you really got to get a tight turn on this, or the grip does move a little bit. So unless you get a nice tight clamp on it, on that ball joint right there, the grip can kind of shift. So all you have to do is make sure that when you get it tight, you tighten it down nice and good, and you're good to go. It doesn't move, but if you just kind of give it a turn and a tighten like that, then you're going to be able to grab it. You're going to be able to move it just a little bit in each direction, and then you want to give it a little bit, more of a turn, and you'll be good to go. So it's not like it doesn't work. It works exactly how it's supposed to. You just got to make sure that you give it, the amount of pressure that that it needs in order to work properly. One other thing I did like about it is that at the bottom here, it's got a little port, and you can use this thing for storage. So if you have batteries, if you have a cleaning kit, if you have any spare supplies that you want to fit in there, it's got a pretty good sized storage compartment at the bottom, and you could use that, to put in whatever you want. I have these little kits, little SOS kits, they're little like cleaning kits and stuff like that, that I typically put in my grips and stuff that I'll probably end up putting in there. So that's cool. I do, again, like the mounting options. You have ability to mount this to pretty much any handguard with M-Lok, picatinny, and Keymod. So that was all good. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it surprisingly more than I thought I would. It's held up really well. I've had this thing on the ground, in the rocks, in the dirt, in the sand, in the back of the truck. It doesn't have any scratches on it. No dings. It's a very strong material. They use a pretty thick 6061 T6 aluminum. And I'll tell you what, one of the surprising things was that I ended up using this a lot in the, what I would call, bike position. So I would have my hand on the grip. I would have this thing way out here like that, and I could actually just kind of drive it, and it felt really comfortable because your natural hand position feels really good like this. When you stick your arm out and you twist it and you grab on like this, it's just like riding a motorcycle. You get that good twist, you got your brakes, everything's ready to go, and you can use your hand very easily like that. Same with this position. I found this worked great when I was shooting with a bag, when I was shooting over the back of my truck, when I was shooting at distance and really wanted to get a nice tight grip on the rifle. I found that this, driving position was perfect. So I liked that a lot. Again, I like the fact that you could just simply tuck this thing out of the way and it's good to go like that. If you want to use a shortened magazine, you could actually use this thing as a monopod, so that's pretty cool as well. And I believe they even sell stubby ones. Now, to me, one of the biggest downsides, because really most of it, I'm going to say this is like, I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. It's 90% positive. One of the downsides to it is the price. I think it's going to be kind of priced out of a lot of people's range. Right now, at the time of this video, I think it's coming in for about $109. And I think that for a lot of people, talking about, a ForeGrip, even if it has the capabilities that this has, $109 is going to be a lot for most people to cough up. I mean, most of us have kids, we have families, we have things to do, and so that is kind of a chokeable amount of money, okay? But if you can afford it, and if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something that'll help you out, then I think it's worth it. I really do. I think it's worth the $109. I would like to see the price come down just to make it more affordable for, your average, every ordinary guy who, has bills to pay and still wants to buy cool stuff for his gun. I'd like to see the price come down for that. But if you're somebody who's in competition and you're going to be resting against barriers and you want to get the best possible grip against barriers and you're going to be, shooting in different positions, then I think this might be something for competition guys as well. Nonetheless, definitely worth checking out. Again, this is the Medieval Industries RFG. Pretty cool little part right here, and, it's definitely going to stay on this rifle. So thank you all very much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.